There are 5 words that can make my Parkinson's worse almost instantly. Bryce, we have to hurry. Perfect. Because apparently, what my nervous system was missing was a deadline. Now my hands stop cooperating, my feet get slower, I forget what I was doing, and somehow, the more somebody tells me to hurry, the slower I get. If you live with Parkinson's, you may know exactly what I mean. So today I want to talk to you about why being rushed can make Parkinson's feel harder, what actually happens in those moments, and near the end, I'm going to give you the one sentence I wish people would use instead of hurry up.
Welcome to Living with Parkinson's. The good, the bad, and the reality. Real talk, real life, real community with Bryce Perry. Let's begin.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Bryce, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 40. And this is Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. Now, today's reality is simple. I can be doing reasonably well until somebody adds a clock. Same body, same medication, same Parkinson's, but suddenly everything feels harder. Maybe we're late leaving the house, or maybe somebody's waiting at the door, or maybe I'm trying to get my card back into my wallet while somebody waits behind me. The strange part is the pressure doesn't always make me faster. Sometimes it makes the entire system jam. And there's a second part to this that I want you to watch for because sometimes the person rushing me isn't Carmen, it's me. And we'll get back to that. But first, let's get into what being rushed can actually do. Okay, number one, the more I try to move faster, the less automatic movement feels. Now, here's the cruel little joke. For somebody without Parkinson's, hurry can mean, do what you're already doing, just do it faster. With Parkinson's, sometimes hurry means think harder about the things your body used to do automatically: standing up, turning, getting through a doorway, putting on a coat, getting into the car. How about doing up a zipper, right? For many of us, movement can require more conscious attention than it used to. So, if I'm already using more brain power to manage the movement, and then you add urgency, well, you haven't necessarily created speed. You've actually created traffic. Think about getting out that door. Before Parkinson's, keys, coat, shoes, gone. Now, where are my keys? Wait, cane? Did I take my medication? Why is my sleeve fighting me? Where is my phone? Carmen, have you seen my phone? Right? It's in your hand. Oh, good. Thanks, Carmen. Excellent start to the day. And then someone tells me that we have 6 minutes. Okay. Now, apparently, I'm participating in the Parkinson's Olympics, and my event is competitive jacket installation. This is one of those things that people misunderstand about slowness with Parkinson's. They see somebody moving slowly and assume the solution is more urgency. Come on, let's go faster, faster. Well, I'm not a puppy. But if the movement system is already working harder, adding pressure can be like yelling at us, like faster. It's like yelling faster at a computer with 17 windows open. It heard you. That wasn't the problem. And once the frustration starts, it feeds the whole system. I get slower. I get annoyed that I'm slower. And then I try to force myself to speed up. And then I get more jammed up. And at that point, Parkinson's isn't the only thing in the room. Frustration has now pulled up a chair too. Can I get a me too in the comments if that sounds very familiar to you? Okay, let's move on to number two. Rushing can turn one task into five. Now, let's say I'm walking towards the car. Sounds like one task, except somebody is talking to me. I'm carrying something, or I'm watching the step. I'm thinking about where we're going, and now I'm trying to move faster because we're late. That is no longer one task. That is a group project. And I'm telling you, I hate group projects. People with Parkinson's can have more difficulty when movement and another task are happening at the same time. You'll start seeing things, and an easy way to tell is shorter steps, more hesitation, trouble turning, and maybe even freezing. Or, just that feeling that your brain and your feet have stopped attending the same meetings. And this is especially important for people who deal with freezing because stress and divided attention can make the whole moment harder, which means the worst possible time to give me 6 new instructions, maybe while I'm already trying to get through the doorway. Come on, Bryce, grab your bag. Watch the dog. The door is closing. Don't forget your water. Did you lock the door? Excuse me, one department at a time, please. And I know why people do it. They're trying to help. They think the more reminders will organize the moment. And sometimes, actually, most of the time, it does the exact opposite. So if somebody saying hurry seems to make your Parkinson's dig its heels even harder, give me a hurry in the comments. Okay, number three, your hands can suddenly forget that they're on your payroll. Now, this one drives me nuts. And this one specifically about those tiny hand movements that normally look simple, until there's pressure attached to them. I can button something, I can zip something, I can use my phone, I can put my credit card back in my wallet until there are six people standing behind me and I know that they're waiting. Then suddenly my fingers are auditioning for a completely different person. The card will not go in the slot. The zipper becomes advanced engineering. Wondering why six people are watching me do it my zipper. I don't know. Anyway, the phone refuses Face ID because apparently even the phone senses panic. And this is where embarrassment becomes fuel because now I'm not just trying to do the task. I'm thinking, they're waiting. I'm holding everybody up. Come on, Bryce, just do it. Why can't you just do this? And there it is. You remember what I told you at the beginning? Sometimes nobody else has to rush me. I rush myself. And I can be brutal about it because I remember how quickly I used to do things. We remember our old speed. And when that body doesn't match up with that memory, then the frustration starts climbing. And now I'm trying harder, I'm trying to move faster, and I'm getting angrier because surely the zipper will eventually respond to intimidation, won't it? And this internal rushing is something that we don't talk enough about. Sometimes we're asking everybody around us to be patient while giving ourselves absolutely none. Okay, number four, speech and thinking can get caught in it too. Now, this one is different. My hands may be behaving perfectly fine, and my feet may not be freezing. But put me under time pressure while I'm trying to answer or choose something or remember something or switch gears, and my brain can feel like somebody just cut the Wi Fi. Have you ever had somebody ask you a question while you're already trying to do something and your brain just says, no, 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 not today? Maybe you know the answer. You understand the question. You just need a few extra seconds to get everything organized. But when somebody is waiting for an answer, those few seconds, they feel enormous. What do you want to order? I know this. I've eaten here before. Why does this menu suddenly look like a legal document? And then somebody says, Bryce. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I've had apparently forgotten my own name as well. Parkinson's can affect processing speed, attention, and executive function too. So, changing plans quickly, answering while moving, choosing between options, or switching from one task to another can take more effort. Then put time pressure on top of that, and my brain absolutely starts buffering. Please enjoy this spinning circle while your order is being located. And this is why being rushed isn't just about moving faster. It can show up in your speech, your decisions, your ability to find the word, your ability to sequence what comes next, your ability to answer somebody while doing something else. The body can be standing still, and that pressure can still make the whole moment so much harder. Ain't that the truth? Which leads me into my next point, number five, the emotional part that nobody sees. Now, this may be the piece that bothers me the most. Picture this. You're standing at the front door. Everybody else has their coat on. The car is running, and you're still trying to get on one shoe. Nobody has to say anything. You can feel everybody waiting. You can feel the clock in the room. And suddenly the problem isn't just that your body is taking longer. Now you feel like you're the reason everybody else is going to be late. And that can bring guilt on it. I'm making us late. I'm slowing everybody down. Everybody has to wait for me. That feeling is heavier than most people realize. Parkinson's already takes control away from us in enough places. Now the clock starts making you feel like your pace is inconveniencing everybody else. So here's the part I want to push back on. Needing more time is not the same thing as wasting time. If it takes me longer to get dressed safely, that time is not wasted. If I need 10 extra seconds before I start walking, those seconds are not wasted. If I need to stop talking so I can concentrate on the stairs, I am not being rude. I am doing the stairs. And I would strongly prefer to arrive at the bottom of the stairs using the traditional method. Maybe part of living with Parkinson's is learning to stop measuring ourselves against the speed that we used to have. I still do it, but the better question may be, what pace lets me do this well and safely? And that is a very different question. And sometimes the person creating the most pressure isn't the person by the door. It's the voice in our own head saying, you should be faster than this. And that voice deserves some patience too. Okay, now, number six, when helping me hurry becomes the opposite of help. Now, we get to the first thing I promised you at the beginning. If someone with Parkinson's is slowing down because they're overwhelmed, freezing, trying to balance, or concentrating hard on a movement, well, piling more urgency on top of that may make this problem worse. And that is very difficult for care partners because you're under the same deadline. You're not standing there thinking, you know, how can I completely destroy Bryce's nervous system this morning? Instead, you're thinking, we have an appointment, we have to leave, the car's running. Where is this guy? And I'm probably looking for the phone that is once again in his hand. So I understand both sides, but saying hurry up may not contain any useful new information. We know we're late. Trust me, we have received the memo. So here's the sentence that I promise you. Instead of, come on, hurry up, we're late, try this. What do you need right now? That question changes the whole temperature of the moment. Maybe I need you to hold the bag. Maybe I need you to stop talking for 10 seconds while I walk. Maybe I need help with my zipper. Maybe you need to get to the car while I finish. Maybe I need absolutely nothing except 30 seconds without a countdown being narrated in my ear. And sometimes my answer may be, I need help. And that's okay too. The goal is not to prove independence by making a stressful moment 10 times harder than it needs to be. The goal, rather, is to get where we're going safely with as much independence as possible, and hopefully without either of us wanting to launch the keys in the front yard. Sometimes I need help, sometimes I need time, and those are not the same thing. So for me, the sweet spot is give me enough time to try and then ask if I want some help. Don't make me prove that I can do everything alone, but don't assume slowness means inability either. That balance is so tricky. And yes, sometimes the answer will still be Bryce, give me the zipper before we miss the flight, and that's fair. Okay, number 7. The best fix often starts before the rush. Once I'm already stressed, already late, already trying to force my body to move faster, well, we're playing defense. The better solution often starts 10 or 15 minutes earlier. I'm trying to build more margin into things that it take me longer now. And if I think getting ready takes 10 minutes, maybe I should start 20 minutes before we have to go. And not because Parkinson's gets to, run the schedule, but because Parkinson's loves a deadline and I refuse to give it one for free. I'm also trying to finish one thing before I start another. If I'm walking through somewhere tricky, the conversation can wait. If I feel myself getting into jammed up, I'm trying to stop, trying to reset, and then move instead of trying to overpower Parkinson's with frantic movement. Historically, that strategy has produced some truly spectacular nonsense. And for care partners, sometimes the most helpful thing you can do is to protect the space around the task, not taking everything over, not treating us like we can't do anything. Just remove some of the noise. Maybe carry the extra thing. Maybe wait to ask the question. Or maybe let us finish standing before asking where the reservation is. Because there is a huge difference between creating more time and making someone feel slow. And that distinction really matters. And I think there's one more thing that care partners may not realize: the tone matters. What do you need right now can sound supportive. What do you need now can sound like there's a building on fire. Same words, very different experience. And speaking of care partners, this is the perfect place for Carmen's Care Partner Corner. But quick heads up, and this is exciting before I hand it over to her. This Sunday, Carmen is doing a special episode right here on the channel completely on her own. It's for care partners, but I really want people with Parkinson's to watch it too. Watch for it this Sunday. It's going to be awesome. And it's a full episode with her, just her. And now, appropriately enough, here is what Carmen, my wife, asked me to read to you today. If you're a care partner, rushing usually doesn't start because you're trying to be impatient. You're watching the clock too. You know the appointment time. You know how long the drive takes. You're remembering medication, paperwork, water, keys, wallet, and probably 10 other things. So when we say we need to go, we may think we're helping. But sometimes what that person with Parkinson's hears is pressure. And pressure can make the thing you're waiting for take even longer. One thing I've learned with Bryce is that sometimes helping means doing less. Stop talking for a second. Let him finish the movement. Ask what he needs instead of guessing. And whenever possible, build more time into the plan before the rushing starts. Because telling someone with Parkinson's to hurry, it's kind of like yelling at a printer because it's printing slowly. You are absolutely allowed to do it. You're just going to be angry and still going to print at exactly the same speed. All right, well, here is my Carmenism of the episode. Bryce says he works well under pressure. I've watched him look for his sunglasses while they're still on his head. So I'd like the record to show that this claim remains under investigation. All right. Well, thank you, Carmen. That was that was awesome. And I think that really is the point. Parkinson's already asks our brain and our body to work harder for things other people barely have to think about. Sometimes the kindest and most practical thing that we can do is stop adding a stopwatch. Now, not every situation can be slow. Life has appointments, flights leave, restaurants close. Doctors are somehow extremely fascinated with the idea of me being on time while making me sit in their waiting room for 45 minutes. We live in the real world. And sometimes we have to move. But when we can create a little margin, reduce the multitasking, and stop turning every slow moment into emergency, well, we give ourselves a better chance of actually functioning. And if you live with Parkinson's, I especially want you to hear this. You do not have to apologize every single time that your body needs another minute. Take the minute. Okay, you made it this far. You've unlocked today's Bryceism, and here it is. Parkinson's already slows me down. I don't need anybody standing beside it with a stopwatch. Well, there you go. If this episode sounded familiar, let me know in the comments. What happens to your Parkinson's when you're rushed? Your feet, your hands, your speech, your thinking? Or does the whole system just clock out at once? And care partners, I'd love to hear what actually helps when the clock is working against both of you. And share this episode with somebody who loves you, but may not understand why saying hurry up can sometimes make everything harder. And make sure you subscribe because Carmen's special episode is coming this Sunday, and you do not want to miss that. You want to set your notifications, ring the bell on your notifications so you'll know when it is live. All right. Well, until next time, I want you to keep showing up. I want you to keep being real. And as always, I want you to keep doing life today. I love you guys so very much. I'll see you at Carmen's on Carmen's episode Sunday, and then I'll see you back in the episodes this coming up week.